let's try and piece together the story to actually see what the sequence of events was, to understand how the larger plot was in the making. Omar, who was in touch with handler Ukasa. Now, who was Ukasa? Ukasa was actually the code name of the handler. Now, that is where the Turkey link gets established, because this person with code name Ukasa was based out of Ankara in Turkey. Ukasa in Arabic means spider, and these terrorists were actually using Sessions app to stay in touch with each other, because that is an encrypted app and it is actually difficult to be able to penetrate through these apps or hack them in any manner. Now, this app that was used, the doctors were interacting with their handler, and the gang had visited Turkey in March, details of which we also got you. That is what came about after the passports of Dr. Muzammil and Dr. Umar were looked into, and the Turkey visit actually set the ground, after which they came back, made Faridabad the base. They started hiring more and more people to be able to expand this network across India. The doctors were heavily radicalized, and a part of this process quite largely happened in Turkey when they had visited in March in 2022. All of this, of course, being told to us by sources. Meanwhile, the diary that is now in the possession of the agencies that are probing this entire case. This is the diary of Dr. Umar and Dr. Muzammil, both of these diaries that quite give out what they were planning. The Bleed India plot that has been unraveled. In fact, they had been working on this entire plan for the past 2 years. And this diary, where they were noting down a lot of details of their planning, of how they would execute it, of the kind of material they needed, of the explosives they needed. Dr. Muzammil, Dr. Adil and Dr. Umar, who are all key conspirators, they were hand in glove, they were working, they were accomplices to each other. The terror attack, that was part of a well-planned conspiracy. Now, we understand that what happened in the Red Fort blast, actually there was a much bigger plan. For the very reason they had the kind of explosive material in their possession that they had, and they wanted to carry out a series of attacks. These code words that were mentioned in the diary, that quite gave the lead to who this handler in Turkey is, what they called him, how they met him, and how the plan unfolded from there on. Two key dates that were written in that diary, the 8th of November and the 12th of November. Now, these are two dates where they were planning something serious, and the diary also contains the names of about around 25 people. Now, we are yet to get details of whether all those 25 people have been identified, nabbed. That, of course, is part of the investigation that continues. But these were names of people that were mostly from Jammu and Kashmir, Faridabad and other locations. So, while it is called Faridabad Terror Module for a reason, because that was the very hub, but the tentacles of which spread across, because these doctors not just radicalized themselves but also expanded this network by radicalizing more and more people. And well, the Red Fort blast, that is now officially being classified as a terror attack. This declaration that came in after Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a crucial CCS meeting yesterday at 5:30 p.m, followed by a separate huddle with Union Home Minister Amit Shah and NSA Ajit Doval. The Modi government has once again made its position very clear: zero tolerance policy on terror, vowing swift justice for the victims. An act of terror is an act of war. So what next for the national capital, and what will be the Modi government's next move?
Delhi is scarred, lives shattered, and make no mistake about it, the national capital is under the shadow of terror. It's a word that has been used officially by the government after the Cabinet Committee of Security met and issued a statement categorically condemning the Red Fort blast as an act of terror. After the meeting, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav briefed the media, making the government's stand of zero tolerance to terror loud and clear.
The Cabinet reiterates India's unwavering commitment to a policy of zero tolerance towards terrorism in all its forms and manifestations.
The emphatic statement underscored the Prime Minister's focus on ensuring justice for the victims by holding another meeting with the Home Minister and the NSA right after the CCS meeting. Earlier, the Prime Minister, after returning from Bhutan, had gone straight to the LNJP hospital to meet the injured victims.
इसके पीछे के षड्यंत्रकारियों को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा. All those responsible will be brought to justice.
He walked through wards, personally spoke to the victims and their families, and gave them his reassurances. Doctors and officials updated him on the condition of those injured. Soon after the meeting, the Prime Minister vowed justice. As Delhi mourns and investigators tighten the net around the suspected white-collar terror module, the message from the Prime Minister is clear. Justice will be swift and terror will find no refuge. Bureau Report, India Today.